put it. Hi, I'm Tom with the Vending Business Show, and here again with Larry Towner, vending business consultant. And today we're talking about vending opportunities, especially in a slow season like December. So thanks for being here, Larry.
Oh, it's good to be here, Tom. We decided we would do this show because of for lack of a better word, the problems with December have to do with cash flow, right? Now, in your world, Tom, do you have cash flow problems in December?
Sometimes.
Yeah, usually it's an excess of cash going out and no cash coming in. And
Yeah.
essentially in the vending business, that's really where the problem comes from. The problem in the vending business is that during the holidays, there's a couple of things at play, but one of them is that people's money is tight. You know, they're getting ready for Christmas and they've got the families coming in and they're planning a big meal and all of this kind of stuff. And so people are a little tighter with their money, and most vending is considered disposable income. It's kind of excess money. So money gets tight that way. The other problem with December is that we have a lot of competition from grandma's cakes and pies, and everything gets put out on the break room tables. So we're just going to present a couple of strategies, I guess, on how to deal with the cash flow issues that come in the vending business during December, right? And so one of them is, and the simplest one to do is just basically set some money aside for December. It's a strategy. It's kind of a saving strategy. I'm going to present two saving strategies and one income strategy. But the one way to do it is just set some money back. Your sales are going to be off, because for most vendors your sales are going to be off. We just don't have the kinds of accounts that do well in December from traditional vending standpoint. So save some money, put it away. I came up with a saving strategy one time. I did it by accident, actually. I had a very, very slow account, and I just never picked the money up in that account. It was so slow that it was a single drink machine, and I would go to the account and I'd put a case of drinks in about once a month, and so I just never really picked up the money. Well, one day I went to pick the money up, and it happened to be towards the end of November, and I took just a big old wad of bills out of that machine, and I said to myself, I think next year we're just not going to pick up the money until December when we actually need it. And sure enough, it really carried us over through the next year, because what happened is you're putting the drinks in, and they would come out of inventory, but they came out of inventory kind of slow through the whole year. And then you ended up with this big chunk of change that you had at the end of the year, and it worked out really well. And you didn't really miss it from your standpoint of your accounts, and your inventory was a little screwed up, but not really all that much. So it's just another saving strategy. One other thing that we used to do a lot of is we would actually go after accounts that were very busy during the holiday season. And you might ask, what are those accounts? So Tom, ask me, what are those accounts?
Hey, Larry. What
Yes.
are those accounts?
And there you go. So so there's two things that come to mind here too as well. One is, we were doing a show with the Association for the Blind, a show very much like this, and we had a roundtable discussion that we were doing with them. And the blind guys all do vending also, and so we were doing these things with one of the state associations for the blind, and they told me they go, we're talking about how December's so slow, and they're all like, hey, wait a minute. December's our busiest month of the year. And I'm going like, really? And they go, yeah, I go, so what gives, right? Tell me what makes December so busy for you? And they'll go, we have rest areas. We have all the rest areas on the highways. And I thought that was really, really interesting, because, of course, during the holiday season, people are traveling. They stop at the rest areas. They get drinks, snacks, sodas, coffee, all that stuff. And those guys are just jamming during the holidays. So, but even before that, when I was, and I thought that was interesting. So maybe something in the travel industry is kind of is a potential account that gets busy during the holidays. The other thing that traditionally always gets busy during the holidays is retail, right? So the regular retail shops are drawing in tons and tons of people. And if you get a good standalone retail shop, say a good sized department store or something like that, December can really pick up. I mean, I'm talking about in a magnitude of 1 to 2 times as much business as they do normally. And you don't need a lot of those accounts to carry you through the time, because your vending doesn't stop, of course. It just slows down. And so, go out and get yourself some retail stuff. Now, I will say this on the retail stuff. It doesn't do very much for the rest of the year in general. So you've got about a 6 to 8 week period where it really does something. But it happens to be exactly opposite of what all your traditional industrial accounts do. So those are a couple of strategies that we discussed about working during the December doldrums. And if you guys have any ideas, please don't hesitate to send us some emails, because we love to learn this kind of stuff. And we'll do whatever we need to, we'll add that into these shows coming up in the future. So, Tom, what else do we have?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just right below there, put a comment about what your experience is for December, and any questions, and we'll be glad to respond to those. Yeah, we'll be continuing on with these vending opportunities, vending business opportunities in future shows. So subscribe, and you've been watching the Vending Business Show, a publication of A&M Equipment Sales.